It is good enough for us, but then now on OBS, there is this pointless icon that is in the middle of us. So I guess that's just going to stay there forever. I don't know what to do now, because I didn't have any plan for this.
Oh.
Are we recording?
I'm recording.
All right. Cool.
I am.
All right. Start recording now if you haven't. That includes me. Okay.
Now. Start recording now. Record yourself
for 3
now.
minutes.
Yourself now. All right, Totolo bros and hoes, it's time for another episode of Tokyo Podfathers, and we're doing the thing we always do. This April Fool's Day is it's something we do every year. We do a stupid episode for April Fools, and so the joke for this one is that we are bringing back the seasonal retrospective. We're bringing back a beloved classic, a beloved staple of the previously our anime podcast, now Tokyo Podfathers podcast. Except the punchline of this is that there actually is no joke, that this is a real episode, and we are going to be doing this every season now. Because I realized at some point that the problem with the retrospectives wasn't not they were like unfun to do necessarily. It's just that we forced ourselves to watch and finish every single seasonal ever, which was impossible. And so I'm like, wait, what if we just do the retrospectives, but we don't do that, and we just talk about other stuff instead, which can involve seasonal anime. I think we will talk about seasonal anime on this, but this is going to be more of an all-encompassing, just, I don't know, what have we been up to for this season in general. And so, yeah, it's me. Panic's here. Whoops is here.
Hello.
So, returning cast
Hi.
from the impressions, because that's how we do the retrospectives, of course. And, yeah. How have you guys been?
So.
I've gone through an interesting period, I guess.
Yeah, that same here. So glad to hear it.
Good episode.
Great episode. I have no plans for this because
months.
we do not have any structure for this. None of us even really know what's going on. I'm just like, yeah, we're just going to show up and we're just going to talk about stuff. And that's going to be the episode.
We will find out what the ratio between actually talking about seasonal anime and just venting about personal stuff is going to be, I guess.
Right. Yeah. Well, I could talk about the weather I've had this season. This has been the most Midwest winter of my entire life. So that's been pretty fun.
I saw that screenshot with like 20 tornadoes or something.
Yeah. Lots of fun.
Great. Awesome.
Yeah, this region had dozens of tornadoes and multiple blizzards as well. In the same
Every
month.
time I hear people, usually from America, talk about stormy weather and tornadoes, I feel blessed to live in an area that isn't so environmentally dangerous. And then I remember that I live about 10 meters below sea level, which I guess isn't entirely risk-free either. But as long as nothing happens, I guess nothing happens, right?
I mean, as long as there's a bunch of stuff between you and...
Yeah, we live 10 meters below sea level, but it should be fine as long as nothing happens, quote from man in New Orleans.
Pretty much.
Right. Yeah, American weather seems fucking crazy. And it's like you'll hear about earthquakes and 20 tornadoes and people are just like, yeah, usual.
Yeah.
Tornado season should never be a word. Like, what do you mean?
It's tornado season all the time now, thanks to things.
Just live with tornadoes? Move!
We don't know where they're going to happen.
In America, I
It's
guess.
like
here.
I think your house getting destroyed by a tornado is like the opposite of winning the lottery. It's about as likely to happen as winning the lottery, except instead of your life changing for the better, you just fucking lose everything. It's the bankrupt spot on the Wheel of Fortune wheel, and it just goes boo. That's you getting your house destroyed.
Yeah, it's like I guess, like one properly placed tornado, and it's just like a city block gone.
Yeah.
That seems like you shouldn't build cities there.
Why did civilization reside there? Are they stupid?
How did? Yeah, like honestly, How do you build a country in such a dangerous place?
You build a country. I mean, I guess you can build a country, but yeah. I mean, with the tornado stuff, you're also left with an interesting conundrum, because either you invest in strengthening your house and hoping that the tornado won't destroy it, or you just keep it weak as fuck and cheap, so that when it gets destroyed, you have minimal losses.
It's not a big loss.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I didn't like that house anyway.
Like, you should be living in tents, so that you
plywood.
even if your house gets destroyed, your tent gets destroyed. It's minimal losses.
No, it's a trailer park. It's just you just roll in a new house.
You just put it.
It seems like it's like a catch-22. You either live in the middle where all the tornadoes are, or you live in the waterfront where all the earthquakes are.
That's right.
Is there a safe spot?
No, nothing is safe.
No.
Nothing is sacred.
In Washington? Does stuff happen in Washington?
Way too many things happen in Washington, actually.
I think some very specific
Also,
things
which
happen.
Washington
Or
are
do
you
mean-
talking about?
Yeah.
I mean the state, Washington.
Okay, because I feel like DC definitely had some stuff happening.
Yeah, I mean I
Let's
wouldn't
just
live
keep it
there.
at that. Isn't Washington State like all the way
It's
on
like
the
top left.
on the west coast?
That's the
Yeah.
northeastern, or not northwestern state. It's also
Isn't
northeastern
that
if you're just
earthquake?
really bad at directions.
It's Beck's country.
Bex is in
I guess it's
Oregon,
north-
which is below that. Bacon lives
Yeah,
in
but it's
Washington.
near,
But
right?
Isn't Washington State in the earthquake area, or is that?
I actually don't think
like
Washington
outside-
gets a lot
outside
of
it.
earthquakes. I think it's too
See,
mountainous.
I knew there was a reason I thought it was kind of safe, because it's like water, close to water, but also not constantly shaking.
Isn't it like the San Andreas Fault area, or am I just
that's-
very
that's
bad at
California.
American
Yeah.
geography?
Yeah, it's,
But that's the same as the way.
did you not watch the
that,
movie San Andreas featuring The Rock?
No, I haven't seen that. I have seen 2012 though.
I mean, I know the San Andreas Fault goes through California, but wouldn't an earthquake triggered by that reach Washington as well, or is that not?
No, it's pretty much only California that gets affected by that. At least, on
I
land.
Does the movie 2012 take place in San Andreas Fault? Isn't it like the entire world just collapses?
Yes, but one of the things that happens is the San Andreas Fault collapses and it sinks.
Did
Los
you know that
Angeles
a
into the
Danish
ocean,
actor played
which is very
Russian
funny.
president in that movie?
Wait, what?
A Danish actor plays the president in that movie.
2012?
Yeah.
Donald
By-
Glover?
By Ronald Emmerich?
Oh, it's direct. Oh, okay, sure. I didn't know Ronald Emmerich was Danish.
Who?
What?
No, I'm
What?
saying the movie is by Roland Emmerich, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, the Russian president in that movie is played by a Danish guy.
Really?
Yes.
Huh.
Just a bit of trivia.
It's the I don't want to be rude, but that's the most uninteresting, unimpactful piece of trivia I've heard in a while.
Well,
The Russian president in the 2012 movie is played by a Danish man.
hey, he's a big part of the movie, okay? I think.
Is he also a big part of Denmark?
Not anymore. Used to be.
Okay. I guess it's an actor of some caliber then.
Yeah.
I like that
Anyway.
we actually talked about the weather for 5 minutes. So now I'm looking at.
I mean, most
I'm now looking
most
at
of it
the,
was about natural disaster.
I'm now looking at the recording chat, and I'm just wondering, whoops, why did you post this GIF?
Wait, that's from last time. That's January 26th.
What was the context of this?
Oh, Bouncy.
I think we were talking about the seasonal anime with the
Oh, Lily?
the kaiju scientist girl
No, not Lily. Is that
who had
Lily?
massive tits. Or was it
That
kaiju
narrows
show?
it
There
down.
was
I know
some show-
exactly what seasonal
No,
you're
it's-
talking about now.
Yeah, I don't think it was a kaiju show, but it was some sort of scientist tits girl with like huge tits, and we from that we came to the occultic 9 girl with even bigger tits.
I mean, the GIF is reminding me of what Moss has been showing from Momentary Lily. Just swaying.
Is this where I talk about Momentary Lily? Can I?
You
should-
could.
Yes.
I owe everybody who knows me as the GOATHands guy, I owe you all an apology because I didn't watch Momentary Lily when we got started with the season, and I just kind of hand waved it because I'm just like, yeah, it's a new GOATHands and I'm looking forward to it, but you know, I think we're all familiar with GOATHands at this point. I don't think there's a whole lot to say. It turns out there's actually a lot to say about Momentary Lily. This show is fascinating. And
that was to say, like, I was not familiar with your game moment for GOATHands.
Yeah, that's fair to say. Like, I was prepared for a new GOATHands show, but I was not ready for the GOONHands show that this actually is. Mainly because it's an anime. It's an action anime about a bunch of girls and they fight monster alien things, and it's post-apocalyptic kind of. Except there's one of the girls is that her entire personality is that she has huge boobs, and they are extremely over animated in every single cut that she is in. And I kept posting cuts in the chat because I really had to get across that. But like, if you hear me say that, you're probably going to think I'm joking because, of course, I'm the GOATHands guy. But I had to make it clear. It is every single cut of this girl, which is fucking hilarious and just insane. It's one of the most unhinged shows I've ever seen in my entire life because that girl also has a 5-minute fake out death scene, which is really emotional, and it is fucking weird. And I realized that I was watching a show that has the kind of plot absurdity that makes me meme about Big Order so much, and also Handshakers to some extent. Unfortunately, it doesn't keep up that kind of unhinged behavior throughout the entire thing. It kind of peaks a little bit early, but it is still a fascinating show in a lot of respects. The other thing is that I mentioned this the last time we talked about GOATHands extensively, which was in 2023 when they had 2 shows at the same time. And I mentioned back there how it felt like they were trying to make something a little more real, so to speak, where they toned down the GOATHands-ness of their stuff a little bit. They weren't quite going full Handshakers anymore. It seemed like they wanted to make shows that blended in with the rest of the crowd. Like, they weren't so extremely insane and gaudy. And that's kind of what's happening here, except they're still GOATHands. It's almost like watching a really weird Ufotable show. Like, a lot of the things that I think you could say about Ufotable, you could also apply to GOATHands, except GOATHands is just, they just execute in such a totally different and unique way that it's still, it's just odd. It's hard to explain in a few words, but GOATHands remains the most fascinating studio to me.
They are a fascinating studio. Like you showed all those clips and stuff, and my comment to it was, they've always been very ambitious. It's like you see these crazy shots and how the camera moves in a scene, and it looks like garbage. But but the idea was good, but they cannot execute, and I don't know why they still can't. Because like the perspective of the characters to the backgrounds does not match. It's like I get motion sickness from looking at it. But the idea was cool.
I mean, from bits I've seen, I'm not even sure if the idea is good. It's more like the fact that you try is good, but I'm not sure what you're trying.
You know what? They get an A for effort, but
GOATHands, we are going to animate everything in the show.
But GOATHands, you can't do that. We'll do it anyway.
Who said we can't?
It's so over animated. All the time. It's like everything is cavorting and gyrating for no reason.
That's why I like them so much, though. You can't get this kind of quality from anywhere else.
Now, maybe that's a good thing. Maybe we shouldn't.
It's why I love these guys so much. I can't believe people hate GOATHands as much as they are cowards. I will take 10 GOATHands anime over one shittily drawn seasonal anime that just looks like garbage because there wasn't any effort put into it.
Maybe GOATHands need to put in a little less effort, because it's like it's wasted energy. Like they spin the camera around for no reason and it just looks like shit.
I don't even know if Momentary Lily actually looks that bad. I'll say that, and that's me being honest. I don't know.
It definitely doesn't look as crazy as Handshakers.
Yeah, they've toned down since Handshakers.
They've toned down, but they're still at like an 11.
I mean, even from screenshots I've seen you post, the lighting looks quite weird to me. I can't really put my finger on why, but it's like a weird mix between tons of detail in one part and then a weird, like, flush, washed out look in other parts that just leaves it as this really weird middle ground.
But it's like...
Which it kind of is the UFO thing in a way. UFO also has this weird 2.5D style lighting that doesn't always look good to me.
It's like they think good lighting is a lot of lighting. Like,
yeah.
We just do more of everything.
Like, I'm just looking through images, and there's this images of the creases of clothes around the characters just being way overdone. Like, there's like a million folds of fabric, just because I want to give so much texture and lighting to things, even though it doesn't need it.
More detail equals good animation. That's what they read. That was the rule that they set.
Also, I feel like, while we're on the topic, because we entered conversation on Momentary Lily because you were talking about one girl's big boobs, but I feel like there's a different show this season where you've also been fixated on one girl's big boobs. I don't want to paint you as like a one-trick minded guy.
What a great season this is! Wow, I'm getting everything I want.
Like, I've seen you talk about 2 shows, and the only thing I've seen you talk about for either of those shows has been big tits.
Well, to be fair, only one of them I watched for the girl specifically. The GOATHands show I was watching for the GOATHands. I didn't expect the tits. Well, actually, I kind of did. I just didn't expect the tits as much as I did. By the way, I also meant to mention that that girl who had a 5-minute fake out death scene. She gets saved, and then in like 2 seconds after that, a different girl gets stabbed and fucking dies permanently, and it's hilarious. It's the funniest thing that ever happens.
So what is the show even about? Is it just...
No, wait, what was the other one with big tits?
The witch show. That
Power Ranger one, right?
What? I don't know. What the fuck is this? What is this show called?
Witch Watch?
No,
isn't he the Power Ranger guy?
Yeah, it's an isekai where let's see, the Red Ranger becomes an adventurer in another world. That's what it's called. It's a show about a Power Rangers guy. The main character of a Power Rangers anime gets isekai'd into a generic anime with a sexy witch. And that's really all it is. That's the entire plot. The entire show is just hinged on how funny you think that is, which, in my opinion, is not very, but great witch design.
Nice. Okay, great.
Yeah. Not even specifically because of the tits, although that does kind of help.
It helps. Never hurts.
I mean, I would judge you for watching a show only because there's a really hot girl in it, but that's mainly the reason why I watched the Golf Girl show.
Exactly. This is
the Haruka special.
She is so unbelievably hot.
It's insane.
It's ridiculous.
Because if you had to explain the character design, there's nothing to it.
It's just
woman
in
so
shirt.
Good. it's
we have the peak woman in shirt anime.
She never even wears a shirt. She's just like in golf clothes. Woman in outfit. She's so pretty. It makes no sense.
She is.
Just normal hair, normal eyes, no extraneous accessories. She's just like girl.
But it's not like she looks plain either. She has sort of a vibe to her.
Who knew that in the year of our Lord 2025, you could create an incredible anime girl with like no bullshit, and not even like huge tits or anything. She's just like
she's fit though.
In some shots, she has a huge ass, but that's like that comes and goes. Other than that, the show is like whatever. But
it's a decently charming sports slice of life show. But yeah, I mean, If you're not going to be there for Haruka, then you're not going to be there at all.
Yeah, no, I mean, if she wasn't in it, I don't think I would have even watched the OVA years ago.
I did like the OVA, and it made me quite excited for the TV series. And I don't remember from the OVA her being that hot. I think she looked quite slightly different.
A little different, but it was definitely a screenshot from the OVA of her that got me to even pay attention.
Yeah, but I mean, the OVA was nice, but I think as a full series, it sort of lacks enough to keep me engaged. So apart from one very obvious factor, let's keep it at that.
Isn't it? I mean,
I will say I also haven't watched more than 4 or 5 episodes of it yet.
I still have the last one left. It's like
so maybe I'm a fake fan.
God, I really felt something when I looked up Haruka's character page, and it says age 18, birthday March 24th, 2003. Awesome. Great. 2003 was 10 years ago, right?
And that sets it in 2021, right?
Yeah.
If it was set in 2024, I would say 2006.
Maybe that's when they made it, and it's just been sitting there.
I think that might be.
Maybe that's the OVA year.
Yeah, that's the OVA that came out. So maybe that's when the manga started. Oh, wait a minute. This isn't a manga. This is an original anime. I keep forgetting about that. I keep forgetting this is an original because, frankly, it's just such a regular kind of plain slice of life hobby club anime that I just assumed it was a manga. But no, this is an original show, which is, I don't know. It's not bad. I just always imagined an original show would have, like, I guess, more interesting ideas if it's an original.
I mean, yeah, it has one interesting idea.
It does have a good character design. And it does have a good art style in general. Like that's.
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
nice.
it looks good. It's pretty well animated and has some expressive, charming animation.
Yeah.
So it does. It's not that it doesn't do a lot of things right. It's just that it's just not really something truly special what it's doing right. It's
no,
just
and I'm not
sort
really
of checking
interested.
the boxes.
Not really interested in the journey of whatever the main character's name actually is. I
don't know.
The young girl looking for Minami. That might be right.
It is right because that's what my anime list says.
Yeah, I don't believe you, but it sounds right.
Sounds fake. Sounds like a hoax.
I'm not buying it. That's too generic. That's not her name.
This generic anime can't have any generic characters. It's impossible.
She's like whatever. I don't.
There's also a weird element to her as a character where she's introduced as if she is terrible at everything.
Just like me for real.
Including just any sort of sport, but then golf seems to be some kind of exception where she has some skill in it. But I feel like if she'd have some talent for golf, she wouldn't be that bad at, I don't know, tennis or something. But maybe I don't know enough about golf or tennis.
I guess they're trying to tell you that golf is for people who suck at everything.
If you suck at everything else, you're probably good at golf.
You can always go to golf. It may take no skill whatsoever.
She should pick up baseball, actually.
I think she tried baseball.
Yeah.
How can you be bad at baseball but good at golf? That is literally impossible.
Well, one you swing high, the other you swing low.
Yeah, maybe she just keeps swinging low when she's playing baseball.
It's all about the centrifuge, just the force that your body exerts.
Thank you. What's that?
And the rotation in your back and stuff.
I remembered that, like, the beginning of the show, because I forgot in the impressions, the beginning of the show was her looking for a new hobby because, like, I thought she was really good at something else and that club got shut down. No, it was her favorite gacha game that got shut down. And I remembered because everybody was making fun of Moss and his Medaka.
And the one time I played a gacha and how it fucking ruined my life. And now they have the audacity to come back with another Medaka gacha. And I see other people playing this and I'm like,
No!
What?
Fools!
Stop doing that. Do not download the Medaka gacha. Your life will be ruined forever.
In about 2 years' time, there won't be a game. And you'll be just like Minami from Sorairo Utility, playing golf like a fucking loser, but you can't do anything else.
That's right, because golf fucking sucks.
Unless
I said
there,
it. Golf is a bad and
great.
stupid sport.
It's
probably a cheaper hobby than gacha.
Oh yeah.
Playing gacha is also stupid. No one should do either of these things. This is the worst kind of person imaginable. Gacha enjoyer and golf enjoyer.
I remember losing about a month of my life on that stupid Discord gacha where you can roll for anime characters.
Oh yeah, I played that a lot too.
Oh yeah,
I regularly get messages from I think Deathless asking if I'm willing to give up certain waifus.
I just remember thinking like, well, normally I wake up at, I don't know, like 30 past 6, but maybe if I wake up 10 minutes earlier, I can still catch the previous cycle of rolls.
Because it's every hour, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
but yeah, just having to be occupied with that every hour, trying to get my rolls. It was not healthy. But then I feel like I've got enough taste with that gacha-wise that I feel like I'm never touching anything similar to that again.
That was just a time sink.
I think that's why it was so dangerous, right?
There wasn't even any money
if I had to spend money every time I rolled, I wouldn't be doing it. But it just you lose your time and you think you're spending nothing, but you are spending a month of your life typing /roll on Discord, trying to hope
10 times
that a Hidamari sketch character pops up.
Wow. Speaking of games that are totally not gachas, I'm going to open a card pack on Pokemon TCG Pocket.
Just play Sinless Zone Zero. It's the best one.
No.
Got the best Gooner art.
No.
Like, it's the horniest gacha, and they acknowledge it. Yes, do it.
No.
The gameplay is good, too.
I'm not playing a Hoyoverse game. I'd rather kill myself.
Do that.
Maybe I fucking will.
Maybe I will. You
don't think I won't do it?
Don't threaten me with a good time.
I just got a gold Pokeball in TCG Pocket. Not a fucking joke. I just opened a gold Pokeball in my pack.
I don't know what that means, but congratulations.
It's a Pokemon card that has a gold styling to it. I'll post.
Some VTuber I was watching yesterday showed off that card too. I think Raura.
Can you trade them in the
look at what I got
in-game thing?
You can trade some of them. Not the most rare cards, though.
Speaking of things we've been watching for the last 3 months, I've been getting way into VTubers. Way too much.
Yeah, Panic got me into Gigi Murin, and it has changed everything for the better for me.
It has ruined everyone's lives.
I really was kind of on. I don't know. Like I haven't been watching VTubers and Hololive as much as I used to for the past couple of years or so, or for the last year or two. And then Gigi kind of appeared in a lot of different things naturally for me, and I'm like, oh, this is actually the funniest streamer of all time.
Yeah, she suddenly collabed with everybody in the world. Like in 2 weeks, she did a collab with every single person, stealing every fan base. It was great.
I have still not I've still managed to avoid falling into that pit of despair that is VTubers.
I held out for a long time because I knew I would love it. Always coping by being like, it's parasocial. I don't want to. It's fucked up. It's weird, and they're hiding behind these anime girls. It's pandering and blah blah blah. And now I'm like watching everybody.
See, for me, For me, the animeification makes it easier to get into because I feel like I can so easily disconnect from that. Like, I don't have to treat this character like a real person. That's what's fun. I don't
have to be respectful towards this PNG. I
can watch
the filthiest porn of this character. No, the downhill spiral started like way back in fall. Because that big Warhammer video game came out, and suddenly every Hollow girl was streaming it. I think I watched Callie stream it, and then she bought like miniatures and started painting it. And suddenly I was watching Callie stuff because she was way more chill than I thought she would be. Like just really cozy, good time. And then around New Year's, there was that Gigi CC New Year's stream that got clipped everywhere. Suddenly, it was like, this is fucking hilarious. Gigi is great. And then she popped up on a Cali stream playing Alien Isolation. And suddenly I'm a Gigi watcher. And then she like collabs with everybody. And now I'm watching everybody. It's like just a bottomless pit of content.
But did you watch streamers before you got into VTubers, or did you sort of just fall into both at the same time?
Only like not talking head streamers. Only like a couple times a week talk show, like Warhammer stuff. Guys playing it or talking about it. Stuff like that. But not like just a chat room with a guy talking.
Because I feel like that's part of why I haven't really gotten into VTubers, is that I'm not really in the streamer Twitch sphere anyway.
Yeah,
the gateway definitely was like collab streams. I still think that's peak VTuber content. But every once in a while, I'll find myself in one of their solo streams.
Yeah, it often depends. Like for me, getting into someone, it really usually has to depend on what they're doing. Like they generally have to play a game that I'm really familiar with, or something that I'm just naturally interested in. Yeah. It's rare that I'll be like, oh, this person's streaming whatever, I'll watch this. Unless I really, really like that streamer. And I didn't really watch like any now. I didn't really watch any real streamers before VTubers myself. Like the only people that I'll watch that are real are actual friends that I have.
Yeah, now it's just like, oh, I don't really have anything to watch, and Cecilia Immergreen is streaming whatever. I don't give a shit. I'll pop in and watch. But before that, it was like, I'll go back and watch this archived stream of Callie playing Warhammer with Gura or whatever. I forget if they even collabed on that. But everybody was playing it for a little bit.
The only thing I find myself watching on Twitch or streams is esports, but I've never really gotten into the whole like talking to the camera sort of let's play style thing.
Yeah. Now it's like ASMR in a weird way, especially Kyla's streams. Like she can just play Minecraft for 12 hours talking to herself. It's so relaxing to listen to.
Yeah, I mean, I do get it, but I guess I just struggle to find the investment, or at least enough initial investment to build that parasocial relationship with someone.
I mean, get in the parasocial pool. You'll love it here. It's great. I haven't given them any money yet, but it's a matter of time. It's a matter of time. It's because all the merch is like dingle hoppers and bits and bobs. It's like, no, I don't need stickers or a keychain or the plastics. I want a coffee mug. Can't you just make a cup? Something I can use. Why's it always got to be these little knickknacks? That is so expensive too. That is so expensive.
I wanted to say that earlier. Wanted to drop that earlier when we were talking about people who have spent money on VTubers, as if I have totally never done that before.
You have never done that. You would never do that.
I'd never do that. I'm so responsible with my money. See, I don't play gachas like you idiots.
You were just talking about Pokemon cards you were opening.
I don't play gachas, but when I do, they get canceled.
You know what? Maybe you actually don't want me to play your favorite gacha. It's going to get canceled within 6 months after that.
Oh man, then you should play Honkai Star Rail. That game fucking sucks.
I'm going to play every Hoyoverse game so that and then the company will immediately go bankrupt.
To kill them.
No, don't do that. You can play.
They're all going to have to get into golf.
Genshin and Honkai. I don't give a shit about those. Nikkei or whatever it's called. Nikki. Play that.
How many are there at this point? I thought there were only 3.
Oh, yeah, there's only 3 Hoyoverse.
Oh, okay.
But there's so many others, and they all look the same. Except Zenless Zone Zero, which manages to be very unique. Because it's not a fantasy setting. So it's like the only one that isn't set in some like Lord of the Rings magic slop setting.
Some high fantasy.
High fantasy border.
I thought Star Rail was pretty like sci-fi.
It's like a mix. I haven't gotten far enough in it to see it be more sci-fi, but the world I'm still on the beginner world. I don't know if it ever leaves that planet. Honestly, I have no idea. But that one's like medieval-ish.
Isn't everything
like
just sci-fi adjacent nowadays?
It's like steampunk in space, kinda.
Right.
And it's a terrible game. It's so bad. The gameplay is so not fun. It's incredible.
Yeah, because it's like gacha.
And it's the least intuitive. Like the UI, everything about it fucking sucks getting around in it. I was like, it's gotta be good. It's Hoyoverse. And then I picked it up again after giving up one time. I was like, no, I'm right. This is bad, actually. I don't know how to do anything. And the game doesn't tell me. None of this makes any sense. And then Zenless is just like, it's such a joy. It's so fast, quick. You just teleport wherever you want. So nice.
It's more hack and slashy, right?
Yeah, the gameplay is like hack and slash. Haagen-Dazs. It's great.
I'm looking up images and it's giving Jet Set Radio vibes.
Yes,
setting-wise.
very.
Weird.
It's like a Harajuku fashion with swords and very cute girls and a lot of incest skipping of the main characters. So, you know. I'm not saying that's good. I'm not saying it's bad. Anyways, that was my VTuber. My
VTuber rant.
VTuber
The
rant.
VTuber gotcha rant. Everyone's two favorite things.
Well, not even a rant. Like me, I'm way into VTubers now. I used not to be. So I'm saying, everybody, if you think you're not into VTubers, you just got to meet the right one.
Yeah,
you just find your Gigi Murin.
There's got to be one for everybody.
I think I'm going to be motivated to browse the selection of
But
VTubers to
but
see
you gotta
which one
hurry
sticks.
Gotta hurry the fuck up because everybody's fucking graduating. I don't know why.
Are they all,
It's
what,
like, it's just-
what do you mean graduating? Like they stop being VTubers and
Yeah,
start
they're
being normal
quitting. Like, that's-
streamers?
Some of them do, like they become VTubers outside of Hollow.
Graduating, it's
like in the idol world, you don't quit
Yeah.
being an idol. You
yeah, like when
graduate.
someone leaves an idol group, they call it graduating, and they make it like a bittersweet kind of thing, I guess, kind of like
Right.
a high school graduation or whatever.
Senpai, are you watching me? Senpai is furthering their
Senpai's-
education.
Sometimes furthering their education. That's what I've said. If Kyla is ever to graduate, it's because she got a really great job with whatever degree she's getting right now. That's going to be the end game.
Is she in school?
Yeah.
Oh,
At least I
okay.
assume she is, because she always talks about doing homework.
Oh. I thought you was talking about becoming CEO of Cover.
That's what she's in school for. She's studying business. I actually have no
Yeah,
idea.
She's gonna take over HoloLive.
That's my headcanon.
Yeah. That's your Delulu.
Like Dororo.
Your
Dororo?
My Durarara.
We have Doro Hey Doro.
You know,
Why are there so many of these stupid shows?
you know that Kyla's actually drawn by the guy who did the art for Durarara
That's cool.
and DanMachi.
Well, yeah, I was about to say, you know what else he did the art for?
Yeah.
Another great show that ended this season. Season 5 had the last 3 episodes postponed, and they came out like start of March.
Sounds normal.
It was cinema. Absolute cinema.
I did hear, I did see people really say, like, oh man, DanMachi was so good this week. DanMachi was crazy good this week. I need to text.
was.
I need to text Tay. I need to see how Tay's doing.
DanMachi was crazy good this week. It's always crazy good this week. DanMachi haters, you don't know what you're missing out on. Or maybe you do. Maybe you do. I mean, it's aight.
I'm good with
I-
not watching DanMachi.
I like it a lot.
I just have no energy anymore to watch like fantasy adventure stuff. There's been so much of it I just can't muster up the energy.
Oh my god! Speaking of, it's like I have like my seasonal anime in a folder every season, and right now the entire folder is just backlog episodes of ReZero and Apothecary Diaries because I'm like I can't be fucked to watch this. There's so much.
Really?
Of it. Yeah.
I mean, Apothecary Diaries is great though.
Yeah, you have so much
There's
Mao
like
Mao
not a-
content.
I know.
It's like not a bad episode. Every time you boot it up, it's just good.
I found at the end of last season, I found it very off-putting how they kept pushing the Mao Mao and whatever rich boy is called.
Jinshi.
I was about to say.
I mean, okay, you're definitely gonna keep getting that.
Yeah, I don't.
I don't see the problem with that. I think it's great. I think
the sexual tension has reached new highs these past 2 episodes.
It gives me the ick, something fierce, and I don't know why. I don't like it.
I love that. I love that couple. I love how Mao Mao is always just like, oh my god, Jinshi. His face is so beautiful. He's tall. He's so good looking. I hate him so fucking much. Why is this guy pisses me off so much?
Stupid, sexy Jinshi.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty much the vibe, which is great. Like she acknowledges he's hot, but she doesn't acknowledge the fact that she is attracted to him,
and also seems to have no idea that he is attracted to her. Oh yeah, because
absolutely fucking not.
Because she thinks that he doesn't have a dick. That's why.
Yeah. She's still under the delusion that he's actually a eunuch. Which I'm
Unicorn
isn't. I think he isn't.
No, they establish that he's not. Like I forgot the context, but it's like.
Like he's drinking something, and the guy's like, "If you keep drinking that, you will actually become a eunuch."
Yeah, it's like he has to keep appearances, so like he has to seem like one or something.
Yeah, so
because he's not. There's lots of like identity stuff going on.
So he drinks something to keep him from being like super horny all the time, I guess. Speaking of being super horny all the time, I just finished School Days.
Oh my god. We really should have had Bacon in here. Bacon likes School Days.
I don't hate it. I hate Makoto, but I think the show itself is honestly pretty okay. I have a very tough time figuring out how I feel about it because I didn't hate it, but I definitely hated Makoto.
I know basically nothing about School Days except that in the 2010s,
same.
It was the biggest punchline of all time to bring up the School Days ending.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's like it becomes a little bit of a clusterfuck at the end, but it's like that's like on purpose in a way because it's like all the consequences of what he's been doing for the past 11 episodes. Like, yeah, it goes off the fucking edge very quickly.
Does he get killed in the end or something?
Yes,
that's right. Sorry if you have avoided the last 20 years of anime discourse and you didn't know this.
2007 is when it came out. At this point, I knew he was gonna die at the end. I didn't know. I thought it was gonna be the dark-haired girl who did it, because that's the one I'd heard. Like she carries his head around at the end.
Hell yeah.
She goes fucking crazy, but it's actually the brown-haired girl who does it.
Was School Days the show with the memed fan sub or the fan dub?
That sounds.
Or is that a different show?
I don't know, but that sounds very likely. I could imagine, because basically this guy is just like he's just fucking every girl at school. It's like he's very innocent at first, and like he has like a little crush, and they hook up, and it's like will they, won't they? She's a little reserved, and then he cheats on her. And then he gets away with it, and then he just keeps cheating on more and more people. In the end, I think there's like, I can only think of one girl in class he hasn't slept with by episode 11. Wow. It's like, it's a spectacle. It's don't let anything distract you from the fact that Makoto has cheated on every single one of his girlfriends. It's like it gets so ridiculous that between episode 10 and 11, there's like a fifth girl who's fucked him. Just there was no lead up to it. The episode just starts with her putting on her pants and leaving. So, okay, great.
Why would you cheat on your girlfriends if you can have 100 girlfriends and have them all at the same time? Who really love you?
Want to kill? One of them kills you. Oh, that's another show I still have a lot of backlog of because I find it like mentally exhausting. So much is happening.
Really?
There's so.
I mean, I guess
it's just a fucking cacophony of sound and color every single episode. I don't hate it, but I can't. It's like I have to do it in half episode chunks, or my brain explodes.
There has been some fucking wild stuff. Like even for this show, it's been getting to very weird territory. There's like an episode where all the girls get turned into babies.
I did see that one.
What?
Which is crazy.
Because that's like episode 2 or something.
I think something
it's
like
very
that.
early.
Did you just check out Mentally Malls or?
Yeah. What?
Aren't you watching this?
Yeah, you're
Wait,
watching.
I thought you were still talking about
right?
school days. I'm sorry. What are you talking
No.
about?
We moved on to
We're
another
talking
show
about
where there's a
Hyakkano.
bunch of girlfriends who really, really love their.
Oh, you're talking about a good show now. Yeah,
I don't know.
that's
Nobody
a
dies
great
in it.
series.
Yeah, we mentioned the episode where they all get turned into babies, which I think is the half episode that I skipped because it got a bit weird.
A bit.
I thought it
Like
was
I don't
great.
know, even for that show,
Pretty
I feel
epic.
like my girlfriends get turned into babies.
See, what I thought happened.
Unsettling.
What happens that episode is that the guy shields whatever pink boob woman
Pink
is.
hair anime boob. That's her name.
Pink hair anime boob shields her, so none of those two are still normal, and they get to be like
Right.
for half an episode. What I thought had happened was that everybody got blasted except him, and that pink hair anime boob was actually her mom, but turned down to high school age.
I see.
Oh, that would have been
So I was
great.
confused for a little bit of
actually.
it, right? I thought it just reverted everybody by a set amount of years, so now she's a teenager instead of the
That would have
mom,
been a really good gag.
right? But no, the mom is just a baby.
I also keep thinking for this show that they like make every girl weirder than the one before it, but then I realized that the science lolly girl is like the fourth character introduced, and she's the most unhinged character concept of them all.
She's strange.
Her character
Like,
is
that's
science, which can mean anything.
It's I mean, yeah, but it's a wild one to get to by number 4. Like you'd think, like at some point they run out of ideas and they go, I don't know, a girl that makes medicine that makes crazy shit happen. But that's like the fourth character introduced.
It's also like you can't just call it all medicine, and that means it's medicine. It's not medicine. It's magical potions. What do you mean? None of this cures any diseases. I have made medicine that makes your dick huge. Oh, great. And then
I think people have made that.
And then you know what would happen. Is
I think that already
I don't
exists.
think
Well,
that's specific to this
no,
show.
that makes it bigger, right? So
I don't.
What would happen that episode is that Pink Anime Boob would drink it, and then her and the tsundere would hook up. That's exactly what would happen if that medicine was made.
The futa drug.
Yeah, it will turn Pink Anime Boob into a futa. Just like in Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid.
Wait, is that a thing?
I've
I've seen that show and I don't remember the
there-
episode.
There's a futa episode.
Yeah, there's an episode
Kobayashi
where,
gets a dick.
Yeah,
Oh right, now that you mentioned
I think it was
The
the
big
first
boob.
episode of season 2.
Might
I
be.
think
Or
I've
second.
buried that memory.
It's
It wasn't
the-
like as it's a big controversy in the manga community, but the anime didn't like really go that far with it.
I think it's whatever her name is, the new one, the short stack
Iru,
Yeah.
curses
this
her
one.
with a penis.
yeah. It's a curse she inflicts on her or whatever.
Whoa, cock be upon ye.
Can you imagine a worse fate than having a dick? Horrible,
I know, right?
horrifying.
I'd rather kill myself.
I wish I was. It's why I want to kill myself. That is why I'm the way I am.
That is why Makoto died. It's because he had a dick and he could not
He couldn't keep it in his pants.
Yeah.
he could not administrate that.
Whoops, what have you been up to this season?
I've been up to picking up a lot of shows and not finishing them, I guess.
That's hell yeah.
And I've been up to arguing about Bang Dream Mujica for like 2 hours every week, because there's some very divisive opinions and reads on that show in the Discord server that I'm in, or servers, I should say. I kind of want to talk about it, but it will be spoiler territory, I guess. If any of you care about that or not.
I actually kind of do, because I do plan on watching it.
Okay, I'll keep it to myself then, in broad strokes. But I guess in summary, there's just a lot of discussions about who's at fault of these characters. I mean, they're all insane. They're just varying degrees of insane, and people can't really agree on who is the least insane person and who's the one who's least destructive for this band. And that's most of the discussion around the show. And I maintain that Nyamu is in the fucking right. If you are listening to this and you're an Ave Mujica watcher and a Saki defender, fuck off.
Shit yourself.
Keep yourself safe. Shit yourself.
Shit yourself and die.
Do we have that as a soundbite yet?
I think I wanted to add it, but we have too many and we gotta remove some. We have this.
Big order.
Oh, that's what we have instead. We have Gigi saying big order instead of...
And her screaming.
Brother.
And aside from FMU,
I think...
I've been watching Medalist, which is actually quite nice. I'm trying to get back on track here. Okay. I don't know if any of you have been watching Medalist beyond the first few episodes.
I didn't start it.
I did have a bit about a Medalist that just kind of began and ended with... It's a
What's
joke.
that?
Knocked Loose.
Okay.
It's a song called... It's a Knocked Loose song, Counting Worms, where he goes, arf, arf. And I made that joke because in the first episode, the girl counts worms.
Arf, arf.
That's true. Yeah, she buys her way into the skating ring by giving the guy behind the counter a bag of worms every time, which isn't. I guess that's one way. But yeah, honestly, I like Medalist quite a lot, but I don't really have anything interesting to say about it. It's just a sports show about a young girl trying to become a junior athlete, and actually being quite successful at that, considering she's only been doing this for like a year. And it sort of plays out to how you'd expect it. Like, it doesn't pull any crazy moves or any insane things about its premise, but it's just quite an effective look into like training to be a professional athlete while also being 12 years old, and also having a really nice main role as the coach of the girl in there, and his perspective on things as a field athlete and getting back into that. It's roughly yes. But anyway, so that's a Medalist. It's kind of similar to. I'm trying to think of what it reminds me of. I guess the Ballroom show is a little similar, just in terms of someone being relatively new in the sport and trying to catch up to people who've been doing it for a much longer time. The Welcome to the... Oh no, not Welcome to the Ballroom. That's the Dance Dancer is also somewhat different, or somewhat the same in that regard. But yeah, so if you're looking for a sports show, it's a good one, and I recommend it. Other than that, in terms of anime, I've not really been up to anything. I think we've touched most shows that I've watched.
I might watch Metal. I'm thinking of what I'll do the next time I get free time, because lately when I've had free time, I've actually watched anime, believe it or not. I haven't yet made good on my promise that I would complete 10 anime from winter, but I have gotten a lot closer than most seasons. I'm at least halfway through most of everything, and almost done with a few things. So
I mean, I'm definitely not hitting 10 shows. I might hit 5 if I end up finishing Sorairo Utility.
I got halfway into Harushura, the Guild Girl show, Hyakkano, Kono Kaisha, the workplace comedy, and then I'm almost done with Momentary Lily, Red Ranger, Sorairo Utility, Solo Leveling Season 2. Oh, you want to talk about Solo Leveling, Panic?
Yes.
Because I got into Solo Leveling this season. I watched the first season of that, and
it's your new favorite show.
I got caught up to the second season, but then they dropped a few more episodes of it.
I think the season finale is today.
Is it actually good?
I like it a lot.
That
doesn't mean it's good.
I don't like it, and I don't think it's good, but I understand why it's popular. This is literally Sword Art Online for Zoomers. That's what this is.
Zoomers?
What's the Zoomer, and what makes normal Sword Art Online not for Zoomers, and this does?
Because
first of all, they weren't born when it came.
Yeah, I mean, sure, but they could still watch it.
Sword Art Online is just older, I think. And the thing about Solo Leveling is I think it just takes a lot from Sword Art Online and just tries to be better, I guess. Because it has a lot of the same things where, I mean, the story isn't the same thing, but the main character is this lone wolf alpha male type of cool guy that is a lot more popular with kids these days. Basically, all of the alpha male stuff, that's this show. This show is the alpha male MC that is popular on social media. Like, literally, there's an emotional scene where he cries, and people got mad at that because they thought he was less cool for it.
Well, I mean,
I've heard about that, actually. Okay, yeah.
You mean
I mean, that's definitely...
Shut the fuck up!
Yeah.
Oh, it can't.
I mean, that's definitely going in the bucket of shows I'm not watching.
I don't think you're missing out on anything if you haven't seen it. It's just it's a popular action anime. I don't think it does a lot of things particularly well, but I also I respect it a lot more than SAO. Like it's not complete dog shit like SAO. It doesn't have a lot of like outright offensive things or anything, but I don't find it very interesting. It's just kind of
there's not a lot of that kind of fan service in it either.
Yeah.
Like it's got some cute waifu whatever here and there, but it's never for very long or very exploitative or anything.
The fan service is more just in how they try to make the guy the coolest guy.
He's the coolest motherfucker in the world, dude.
I watched this show and basically just wrote like shitty yeah, and then I went to the hospital, but I was so fit and I was so healthy that all the nurses thought I was hot and they asked for my number, and that's like actually a thing that happens in the show. Like that.
Is it like not even a joke? Or?
No, it's not. Well, I think they're trying to be a little funny, but
I see.
The thing is that he comes in as this like borderline almost dead like wimp, and he leaves the hospital like a head taller and like ripped because he awakens to his power in the hospital and does the One Punch Man routine every day. So when he leaves, he's like jacked.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I at some point I stopped just engaging with these like the regular seasonal fantasy show that gets popular and just assumed that it wouldn't be engaging to me. But then I was 6 months late or like 9 months late on Freerun, and I feel like now I've been I've been hurt by writing off Freerun as being mediocre before watching it because I just assumed it'd be in that bucket of shows.
Wait, you think
so
Freerun is mediocre?
No, before I watched it, I just assumed it because I just put it in among all the other, like, oh, this is just the seasonal or yearly fantasy show that's like decent, but it's not going to be super engaging to me.
Yeah, that makes more sense. I see what you're saying now.
I mean, it is funny that both Freerun and Solo Leveling, every conflict is solved by the main character showing up, glowing their eyes, and one-shotting the enemy. But
Freerun does it.
But Freerun is like good.
Yeah, because everything's about.
There's a lot of other characters. Yeah,
I think Solo Leveling is good action slop.
It's very good.
If I could give it a backhanded
the
compliment.
fights are very satisfying.
Yeah.
I mean, I still need to get around to Delicious and Dungeon, probably for the same reason.
Oh, I need to do
as
that
I didn't get around to Freerun.
like dungeon. That's what I like about Dungeon Meshi in a way, is that it's not aura farming. Like they have to get very creative in how they defeat the enemies.
Solo
just
Because
get
they
tired.
they are just people. Where it's solo leveling, he shows up and he's like, "Well, luckily I unlocked this talent 2 episodes ago, and now I level it up and I fucking obliterate this person in a second."
Yeah. Solo leveling is definitely
I
all
just-
about the aura farming.
Oh my god!
It
yes.
just kind of makes me sad because I do love like D&D and Lord of the Rings, but fantasy has just gotten so tiring in anime because it's all so similar to each other and so much that it's just hard to
But then
know what's actually worth
Frieren
your
and
time.
Delicious and Dungeon are so different in that way because they don't do like pseudo gamer elements like
Right.
leveling and stuff like that.
Yeah. The thing with solo leveling is that
Dungeon Meshi is true like dungeon crawling goodness.
the thing with solo leveling is that it's basically My Hero Academia, but if the power system was based on Sword Art Online, because it's all about like video game logic, but there's a real world industry surrounding it, like My Hero Academia or One Punch Man to an extent.
I like The Boys, I guess. It's like the company that employing all the hunters, and nobody understands why this guy can keep getting stronger. He's like the first one to do it. He hasn't told anyone that's how it works, but the secret is kind of getting out. Like he tried to keep it down low and just like he just wanted to make enough money to support his family and unlock this thing to heal his mom. But now everybody knows that he's like the strongest motherfucker in the world. Especially because like they went on a big mission with all the strongest hunters and they got fucking clowned on by this Ant-Man guy. And then he shows up at the end and is just like, watch this drive.
No, it's just
Now watch this drive. And that fight is fucking great because it's like the setup for it, I guess. Like you see everybody else get their asses kicked by Ant Guy, and then by the end of the fight, Ant Guy's like running away from main character, and that's very satisfying. Like he's afraid. This unbeatable godlike entity is scared of MC. That's cool. That's great. It feels good. I like that.
I feel like while we're on that anyway, even though it's not really a past season, but one thing that makes me apprehensive for Dungeon Meshi is that I just find Studio Trigger really exhausting. Like the thing you mentioned with 100 Girlfriends, that it's just exhausting because there's so much coming at you. I sort of have that with Studio Trigger, but I don't know if Dungeon Meshi is like that.
No, it's actually not very triggery. That was kind of an apprehension I had at first when they were announced as the studio. Like, first of all, they're a great studio. What they make is like quality. It looks great.
I mean, sure.
Their output is quality, but I was like, but they're so like frantic and eclectic and it's like loud and flashy and la la la. But there really isn't a lot of that in Dungeon Meshi at all. It's very down to earth.
I'll have to check that out then.
I fucking love it. Such a great series.
Have you been watching any like non-seasonal stuff the past period?
I watched a lot of stuff actually. I finally rewatched Hibike. I said I was going to do that when the third season came out.
Oh, that's right.
And then I didn't. So I restarted my rewatch again and I got through it and I finished the whole thing. Nice. And it was great. It was fun. I love it.
Any new insights?
No, not really. Just that UFO ended in probably the best way possible, and it really came full circle with everything, and I'm happy with how it turned out.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
It's just a shame that the final season has basically no... it has performances, but it doesn't show them. Like, they go through preliminary rounds and stuff, and it just never shows any of the performances until... like the penultimate episodes or the final episode even.
Well, that's just Hibike. That's what it's always been like. They always save the performances for when it matters the most. I will say, actually, the one I will say is I was a little bit disappointed that they didn't have the marching performance like from the first season. Because I think it would have been cool to get that from the perspective of like Reina being the leader and, you know, kind of walking through that again.
Yeah.
I wanted to see Drum Major Reina more. But it said Reina was just a massive asshole the entire time.
Oh yeah,
I mean, she's a massive asshole for most of the series.
real
That, I
Sergeant
mean,
Lee.
yeah. Fucking Full Metal, fucking. I was trying to make a joke about Full Metal Jacket, and I was trying to tie it into the name of Hibike Euphonium.
More like
Full Metal
Cannon.
Euphonium. I don't know.
Full Metal Euphonium. That's a show where they transmute themselves and turn themselves into a euphonium, or what?
Yeah, Kumiko's left arm gets replaced by the euphonium.
But yeah, I think I'm getting into more non-seasonals also, especially this season, because I fall behind on so many things, and I think I'm just gonna drop them, like the Guild Girls show or the Kono Kaisha. Because Kono Kaisha I read, and the anime looks like shit, so I'm not interested in continuing it.
Yeah, the anime is
The
not
Guild,
very good.
the Guild show, I think it holds the record for like dropping the premise the quickest, and I find that very disappointing.
I feel like that's just a trend with these like catchy light novel isekai
But
titles.
usually they keep it going for a little bit. This one is like it's almost gone by end of episode 1.
I mean, isn't the premise kind of like I don't want to do anything? I just want to be
Yes.
sit behind a desk. I mean, that's not a show, so it makes
No, I
sense.
mean
that
the premise is
It's
that
not a story.
she's like super powerful secret hero who only comes out to beat dungeons when the others are too bad to do it, and nobody knows who she is. By the end of episode 1, everybody knows who she is.
I
At
see.
the end of episode 2, she's like fully employed by the mercenary guild to just help with raids. It's like, what's the point then? She's no longer moonlighting as this fantasy Batman, whatever Punisher who comes out and helps without anybody knowing it. She's just a hero like everybody else. And the hammer looks so stupid. It's way too big.
You can't. Have
I always
a
think
hammer
it's
too
funny
big.
when they try to have like a really interesting twist on a power system, but then at some point the power system just loops back around to being normal, like the what's it called? Like the I maximized my defense show.
Yeah,
Like doesn't she at
Furry's
some point
nuts.
just get doesn't she at some point just get like some shield bash ability that lets you use a defense offensively, and
Yeah,
then
of course.
the entire premise of
I
the
think
show is
she turns
gone.
into a mech in that one.
because you can't.
That's like the entire premise of the show is gone.
Because you can't have a show where she can't fight anybody. It's the same with Shield Hero. It's like, oh, my power is shields, and then he turns it around to like he can use them to attack somehow. It's like the best defense is a good offense, or whatever, vice versa. And you can't. I don't know. I also didn't like Shield Heroine or whatever it was called. I thought it looked bad. I didn't really jive with it at all. The designs were bad. So yeah, I don't think I'm continuing Kono Kaisha. I don't think I'm continuing Guild. And that's kind of why I wanted to watch.
I saw.
You can-
I'm looking at someone's watching thread on Twitter, and so they watched Momentary Lily, and their review for it is 20 crying emojis and then free Hanabiye. Which I disagree. Hanabiye was the perfect band to do the OP for Momentary Lily. I'm so glad they did that.
I don't know who that is.
They're a metal band that mixes cutesy kawaii vocals with metal screams, and it's fucking hilarious.
Oh,
Is it like some what's it called?
Maximum the
What's it
hormone.
called? Baby metal?
Baby metal?
They're very much. I don't think this band would exist if not for baby metal. I'll put it that way.
I see. Or like the Zetsubo Sensei openings.
I
which sort of makes,
I haven't seen those in a while, so I'd have to be refamiliarized with them. Just watch the Momentary Lily OP. That's what their music sounds
I'll
like
get
all the
that.
time.
But yeah, like I was about to say, I think the fall off in seasonals, a lack of interest in watching the seasonals this season, especially, was what led me to finally giving School Days a try. That and it, for some reason, had started showing up on my Twitter timeline a lot. I don't really know why. I was like, well, maybe I should just finally fucking watch it.
I feel like I am sort of going through a period where I really have a lot more energy to rewatch stuff than to watch new stuff.
Yeah. Oh, finished Sakamoto Days. That was completely all right. It wasn't great.
I only
It kinda-
I've still only seen the first episode of that. And I hear
Same.
a lot of mixed things about it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it kind of plateaus halfway through, and it's just like, whatever. I didn't super care for it by the end.
Does it just kind of go through the motions at some point?
I mean, it
Just keeps doing the same thing, or
it becomes a loop. Like, I guess it's like the loop is him finding creative ways of defeating these assassins, but it's like,
Right.
just didn't really care.
I sort of feel that with most seasonal comedy shows, where by episodes 5 or 6, the joke sort of starts being played out, or you sort of start seeing the patterns.
I still think
the
Shin,
logic behind it.
Shin the psychic is still great, and Lou the pink-haired, not anime boob.
Anime not poop.
Anime flat washboard. They're a great dynamic. I want more of them, but it's like there's so many characters because they keep introducing more and more. It's an okay show. I mean, it's fine. I didn't watch the Kuroiwa show because I still read the manga of that, and it's still going nowhere. 300. Wait, how many chapters? That was one recently. Let me see.
Which one's that?
172. Medaka Kuroiwa is impervious to my charms. It's like a high school romance, whatever.
Oh, it says the show that opens every episode with the girl talking about how she has S-tier tits and S-tier hair and S-tier eyes.
Sounds right.
Or something like that.
She's like the cutest girl in school. And she's mad that this guy won't admit that he likes her. And that's the whole premise.
Wait, what show is this?
Kuroiwa.
Ooh,
Medaka. What is the short name?
Oh, this one. Oh, yeah, I didn't watch this at all. I thought it looked bad.
Medaka. Medakawa.
Medakabucks.
Yeah, it also didn't look very good. So it's like, if it had at least been pretty, maybe I'd watch it for that, but it's like, nah. What else was this season?
I do like that one of the, I'll just take a screen cap of the images page on my anime list of this
Solo
girl.
leveling.
She's wearing a witch hat.
Look at that hat. It's not a very good hat. I'm not watching it.
It's a very small hat. It doesn't even look like it fits on her head properly.
Party City
That's
hat.
probably that's what a witch hat looks like if it's like able to stay on your head. Anime witch hats are like potato sacks. They're way too big.
They are not too big.
They are.
No, they're not. They should be bigger, actually. I can't wait till we get another season of Slime 300, the biggest witch hat of all time.
It's insane how big it is.
Is that
literally what does
season?
it? What does it rest
Look,
on?
I'm checking.
How is it staying on?
It is next season.
Magic, I guess.
Let's see. April 5th, season 2 of Slime 300. I'm still so fucking mad that they never did a season 2 of Elena. Why the fuck is that not happening still? Do they not see how many witch anime we're getting nowadays? Witches are in season. This should be the play.
How about Book?
Really, the play is to do another season of Yamada. And
whatever happened to Book?
Book? I don't know.
Book?
And why aren't we getting a full Burn the Witch at some point?
I don't. Did he even make Burn the Witch in the manga?
I don't think so.
I don't think that ever.
But that doesn't mean you can't make anime.
Yeah, that's true.
Apparently, there was a Burn the Witch special in December 2023.
Oh yeah, vaguely
Burn the Witch
remember
0.8.
that coming out. Oh, by the way, there is a 4th season of Book coming next year.
Only
What do we mean book? Is that is that
Bookworm?
Yeah.
It's
going to be animated by Studio Wit, which is an insane glow up.
Maybe it'll look good.
Yeah,
I feel like Bookworm is one of those shows that just completely threw me off guard by how popular it suddenly was.
It was really popular with like the Crunchyroll audience, I guess. I guess they just marketed it really well.
Because I watched like 4 episodes of the first season and just kind of felt like it's fine, and it's just kind of an average or slightly above average seasonal show. But then I checked back on it again like 2 years later, and it was one of the most popular shows of that season once the sequel aired.
Yeah.
It's really not very pretty. at all.
It doesn't look good, no.
I still only remember from the spilling the milk reaction to it, which feels ancient at this point. That channel's so big now.
Back then, it was Jack and Core.
Was it still just Jack and Core back then?
Yeah, when they were talking about book.
That's insane.
But yeah, I've now officially Guild and the Workplace Romance one.
Well, good for you. Brag about it. Oh, I'm also halfway done with ReZero, but my anime list doesn't have that accurately listed or recorded. That's just me not keeping up with that. The other thing I did this season is I watched the 3rd season of Bungo Stray Dogs. I finally made an effort to start catching up on Bungo Stray Dogs. Because I always said that Bungo Stray Dogs was the most 5 out of 10 series ever, and it's slowly gotten more well-respected within the community. So I don't know. For whatever reason, I'm just going to finally start watching this shit, even though I don't remember that much from what I did see of it, because it was 10 years ago when I first watched this series. And it has evolved from a 5 out of 10 to a 6 out of 10. I'm starting to see the vision.
Wow. Only 4 more seasons.
Yeah.
And you have a 9 out of 10 show.
Yep. There are 2 seasons still that I haven't watched, so I'm optimistic, and I'm sure they're probably still making more of it. Like we're gonna get a season 6 eventually, because Bones is finally deciding that they want to adapt everything to completion. My Hero Academia is getting its final season soon. And I think they established a side studio, and they said it was specifically for like adapting longer series or sequels. Like they said they're going to come back to Noragami pretty soon with this new studio, I guess. So yeah, the era of not getting finished adaptations is over, or ending at least.
Has Bones done anything recently other than seasons of My Hero Academia?
Metallic Rouge. They did Metallic Rouge. Remember Metallic Rouge, guys?
Oh, biggest show.
Their 20th anniversry project. Their 25th anniversary project. Everyone loved that.
Original anime. Everybody loved.
Yeah, they did. They did that.
That you would forget that.
Respect Metallic Rouge. Other than that, no, they have just been doing My Hero Academia and Bungo Stray Dogs for the last few years.
I do kind of like My Hero Academia.
I haven't seen it.
I don't know why, because
season 5.
I shouldn't like it, but I do. It's just kind of vibes. I'm so deep in now. I'm riding this out to the end. That's also next season, right? Is it not? Oh no, it's fall 2025. Yeah. No, that's not for a while.
Yeah. Next season looks fun, though. I hope it'll be better than Winter. Winter was not good, but I made it work. All the other stuff.
I feel like I've checked out what was listed for spring and nothing really caught my eye. Oh no, that's not true. There's a Kowloon generic romance, which is supposed to be good.
There's Lazarus. There's Slime 300 Season 2. There's a Haran Season 2. I really liked a Haran, personally. I'm glad that's coming back. There's Witch Watch.
Haran?
I don't know what Witch Watch is about, but it's called Witch Watch, so I'm going to watch it.
So she'll watch Witch.
That's exactly.
That's a Haran-san. Yeah, that's great. Good. Didn't know that was coming.
Yeah.
Isn't there also a different witch show next season with also a massive hat? I feel I've seen pictures of that.
Slime 300.
Slime 300 and Witch Watch.
If there's another one, please tell me. Oh, I see.
There's once upon a witch's death.
I don't want to watch a witch die. The fuck.
But it's only.
But she also has a really big hat. I mean, looking at their design, you're probably gonna be down with this.
Speaking of big-headed witches,
she has tits and a big hat.
Okay.
Did you look
this is a good design. This is a really good design.
This is a very Moss design.
Did you look into Dragon's Crown yet?
What is Dragon's Crown?
The one I posted a big TD witch in the Notcast server and was like, you should play this game. And you posted...
And where?
Notcast.
Oh,
didn't ping you.
Right. Yeah, no, I didn't see that. Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, you did. You said looking into this.
I don't remember the stuff that I say on my off nights.
Yeah. She has the biggest head and tits in the world.
I don't like how much ribbon there is on this hat. I don't know.
Well,
How do you feel about the fact that Witch Watch doesn't seem to have any witches actually wearing witch hats?
Oh god, it's just like Yamada-kun all over again.
it's here the
Why
disappointment.
do they keep doing this?
Oh, Jesus Christ! Not another one.
They
They
have
keep
hats
getting
in
away with this.
Yamada-kun?
I think they do at some point. I haven't actually. Oh no! Which watch has a Yoasobi OP? I'm not watching this shit.
No!
You have to choose between your biggest love and your biggest gripe.
Witches and Yoasobi.
This is
Do you want to suffer through Yoasobi to watch some witches?
I meant to bring up when I was talking about Momentary Lily that I really need CBF to watch Momentary Lily because he is the biggest Oro crony gooner of all time, but he's also the biggest GOATHands hater of all time, so I need to know which side of his personality will win. The side that likes over-animated giant tits or the side that hates GOATHands. That's me with Witch Watch. Which side of me will come out more? The side that likes witches or the side that hates Yoasobi? Which of these is going to win? It's a battle to the death.
Kobayashi-san movie coming.
There is.
What? Dagashi-san?
Kobayashi-san.
Oh, Kobayashi. I mean, that's not for a while, right?
That's in the summer. It's going to be at the same time they do the City adaptation.
Because that got announced very recently, right?
The what?
I feel like the Kobayashi movie got announced.
It did
like
get
less
announced
than a month
recently, but
ago.
it's coming out at the end of June.
Surprise, it's here.
I mean, I will probably not be watching it
Surprise,
before
bitch.
December. Because subs are slow as fuck on movies.
There's also a show coming that looks like it's about Rudius Grey Rat's dad.
Oh, cool. I'm not
It
watching
is the
that.
name of the show.
It
The
isn't.
sequel to Boruto's dad, Rudius' dad.
Rudius' dad. It isn't, but the guy looks exactly like him.
Wait, I need to find this.
It's by Passione. Katai Naka no Osan. Kensei ni Naru. Airing in 6 days.
It does look... He also looks like an Attack on Titan character, kind of.
Oh.
Oh, whoa.
I mean, I've not seen enough Attack on Titan, but I feel
There-
like that's what Attack on Titan characters look like.
Beryl Garden Ant. Is a sword.
Is that his name?
Yes.
Beryl Garden Ant.
I love
That
that.
is the most
What?
random name generator thing I've ever heard.
Beryl Garden Ant.
AI generated name.
I love anime names. I love when the Japanese have to come up with European sounding fantasy names.
I love the names in Freerun because it's so
It's
funny.
just German.
It's
It's
just
just
German.
German
It's
words.
just German verbs. Like, what are we calling this old guy? Let's call him
Let's
Thinking.
call him old.
Wait, there's actually another anime in spring about witches called Maibashi
There's 3?
Witches. Sir, another witch anime has struck the spring
Has hit
2025
the
season, except
Pentagon.
these girls don't have hats either.
Well, maybe
This
you could
looks
be
like
a
an
witch
idol
without the hat.
anime. It's an original
ever
anime by
considered that-
Sunrise. It
You
looks
consider
like
that the witch powers aren't stored in the hat.
Meibashi Witches. It looks, I think it's just an idol.
yeah,
anime,
this
but
is
they're
just an idol
called
anime.
witches.
They're called witch. Let's see. Yuina
Well, there's at
Akagi
least
is an
one.
ordinary high school freshman in Maibashi City until a talking frog named Karope appears and throws an unexpected proposal her way. Why don't you become a witch? Before she knows it, Yuina's closet becomes a gateway to a mysterious world where she meets 4 other girls, each with their own quirks and magical potential. There's the blah blah blah, who cares? Together they form the Maibashi Witches, a group dedicated to granting people's wishes through magic, music, and a bit of mayhem. Oh, so it's Healer Girl.
All this looking ahead at shows is reminding me. Are you going to do the thing you used to do?
No,
you
not
look
for
at
this
the thing?
season, but I might bring those up. Bring those back at some
Imagine-
point.
Imagine being transported to a different world and finding out your special powers, and then deciding to become an idol band. I feel like that's not the immediate thought I would have. But
Oh, speaking of idol bands, I watched Girls Band Cry. I forgot about that. I did that this season.
yeah, you hated it, didn't
It was
you?
fucking terrible.
I love... Fuck you.
I hated it.
I love Girls Band Cry.
The thing is, like, I hate it, but I guess I get why people like it. It's just like the kind of characters that all of the people are just like specifically bother me because they remind me so much of people that I actually know in real life and actually hate in real life. Because dealing with these people it sucks. It ruins your life.
I love Nina. I just love angry girls. I just think it's so fun.
Yeah,
I think it's endearing.
We were both watching it in preparation for our anime award thing.
And it never got brought up. It was a massive
never got
waste
brought
of
up.
time.
No. I was so convinced that the jury would pick that.
It's not bad, Cherrycore, no.
How isn't it? It's like it's underdog, it's gay, it's
it's too drama, whiny, teenage angst kind of
It's
stuff.
a little teenage melodrama.
I honestly called it Disney Channel. That's how I described it.
I mean, come on,
It's a
that's
Disney
not fair.
Channel, and
It's not. It's not.
It's written with that kind of
I can
quality.
see it.
No,
it's
it's
the best of
it's
both
not
worlds.
poorly written. I don't think it's poorly written.
I kind of think it is. I thought it was unrealistic.
I think there's
as hell.
some good fun. No, I don't.
I was surprised by how good the animation was.
I think the animation is great, but
It's
I,
for
Being
I,
3D,
fine.
it's
calling it
honestly
ugly.
pretty nice.
That's fine. I had no strong feelings about it.
Have you considered
like
having some
Ghost
strong
Band
feelings about it?
No, I didn't consider that actually.
I think Ghost Band Cry might literally be my highest rated show from last year.
Wow. I guess I'm.
Check.
I guess the thing that surprises me is I'm surprised by how popular. Well, I guess it's not even that popular. I say it's super popular. It has 100,000 members on my anime list. That's actually obscure as fuck. I guess it's one of those things where the people who like it really like it, but it's not for everybody, for sure.
Girls go banded?
Girls go banded.
Girls cry binted?
It's tied with the third season of Kimi ni Todoke for my highest score last year, which I guess is also a divisive show.
Is it divisive? I thought people liked Kimi ni Todoke.
I think most do, but it's very slow in its first season. It definitely has the like poor communication, teen drama type stuff. Like there's a scene where the main female character tells the main love interest, or vice versa. Like, I don't think we feel the same way about it, or I don't think you feel the way about me like I do about you. And then it's the whole communication thing about they both think the other one is rejecting them. Like, that type of stuff is definitely in there. But I think it's done in a charming enough way. So yeah, watch Kimi ni Todoke if you need a good vanilla romance. I guess so far we have just mostly been talking about anime and an initial sidetrack towards earthquakes and tornadoes.
Isn't it great how we talk about anime on this totally definitely an anime podcast? That's cool.
Speaking of not anime, I went to the theater. I watched Mickey 17 by Bong Joon-ho.
I know exactly what that is. That's the 17th Mickey Mouse movie.
That's right. They skip straight to 17. No, it's the Parasite director made.
Oh, cool.
A book adaptation of a book called
I mean,
Mickey 7. He added 10 more Mickeys, and then he made a pretty good movie with Robert Pattinson.
Wait, 10 more? What's Mickey 7?
That's the book it's based on.
Oh,
it's the same premise. There's just only 7 Mickeys. It's like the whole thing is that he's something called an expendable. So they print every time he dies. They send him on like suicide tasks, and then when he dies, they print a new one. Hilarity ensues. So it was a decently good movie. I hadn't watched Parasite before I watched it though, so I also watched Parasite.
I still haven't seen Parasite.
That's everything.
I haven't either.
That's a pretty good movie. I know, hot take, controversial statement. That's pretty good.
I've started keeping a list of movies that I feel like I should watch, but I never get around to it because I just don't have the energy to sit myself down for up to 2 hours.
This one is like
to watch a movie.
This one is like enthralling the entire step, like the entire way through. Even if you've heard spoilers about it, it'll still get you.
I watched Look Back, I guess.
But I also watched Look Back.
I did
Look
not.
Back's really good.
It's good, yeah.
By the Chain
It's like-
Salesman.
I had a take on Look Back that annoyed some people, but I still stand behind it. I feel like Look Back is the more interesting version of Liz and the Bluebird, which sounds like a crazy comparison, but it's a pretty similar story. But I feel like it just hits the same beats better.
Because it's like art girls, right?
I didn't think about Liz and the Bluebird at all, but I think I can see it. Yeah. Even with the way the movie has, it's just very quiet in general, and it kind of focuses more on the body language.
I mean, in terms of energy and directing and music and stuff, I might still prefer Liz and the Bluebird, but in terms of the story and the engagement, I feel like Look Back is, to me, a more engaging version of that story, I guess, or a story.
A much more believable story, in my opinion, or a more easily relatable story, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of understand these people a lot better than I understood the girls, and better than I understood Yoroizuka and Nozomi. I know their names because I actually watched Liz and the Bluebird as part of my UFO rewatch. First time since I saw it in the theater when it came out.
Shout out to Nozomi for having wait, which one is the blue hair one?
That's Misery. No, that's Nozomi. No, that's Misery. No, that's Misery.
Yeah.
The Misery. Shout out to her for having the most out-of-pocket, devastating line in the entire third season of TPK. The whole, I couldn't see you going to this music school either. And she didn't mean it like that, but that is what she said. And I was like, damn! Ooh, devastated. What the fuck?
Do you have any other rewatches planned, Moz, or was DPK sort of a one-time?
UFO was particular because I just wanted to see the last season of that, and it had just been so long since I had seen UFO that I genuinely forgot some things about it. So it was actually really nice because, even though I'd forgotten most of the story in the first two seasons, I basically still remember the beats, and the most important thing is that my opinion of the whole series didn't change at all. It was just recontextualizing how I felt about it, even when I feel like I was a completely different person back in 2016 when I actually watched this for the first time. But I got through it again, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's it. This is what I felt about it. Okay, cool. I wasn't wrong, or I didn't misunderstand something all the way back then, and just lived with that for 9 years.
I've been through that with Revue Starlight, where it's I hate it, but I see so many people like it. Maybe I should rewatch it, and maybe I'll change opinion. And then I rewatched all of Revue Starlight and came out of it feeling exactly the same way as I thought I did, which felt like a bit of a wasted experience. Yeah, okay, I remember why I hate this.
Yeah, and Liz was definitely the most, I guess, revealing of that, because that's a movie I didn't really appreciate the one time I saw it, and I guess that's a controversial opinion. So finally, I rewatched it, I'm like, okay, was I just, totally wrong about this movie or something? And finally rewatching it again, I'm like, okay, no, I was totally right. This movie is so fucking boring. But hey, I can at least appreciate the effort that they put into it. It is probably the most detailed sound design I've ever seen in an anime. The animation's really cool and stuff. I get it. I get why it is the way it is, but I don't like it. I don't enjoy it.
I think it's a beautiful movie, but I also find myself struggling to be invested in the characters. I just don't think Nozomi and Mizure are that interesting.
Yeah, they're not.
Even though I know a lot of people who think they're the most interesting part of EBK.
I don't get that at all, but whatever.
And they're good friends.
They're just good friends.
They are just good friends.
And they were roommates.
But as for any other rewatches, I don't know. I guess it would depend. Like, there's a part of me that wants to try Monogatari again, because I have this dilemma with Monogatari where I have been stuck on Owari literally since it came out in 2015. And I remember back in 2017, I rewatched the series up to that point so that I could continue it, because that was when second part of Owari Monogatari was coming out. And then I rewatched it once again, got to Owari, and stopped. And I am still at that point all this time later. So I've been wondering if I should just rewatch it again, like try again. But at the same time, I'm like, am I really going to get anything out of another rewatch, even if it's been a while? Like, I still remember everything. There's
so much, too. It's like, that's such an undertaking.
And I think Monogatari doesn't call back in that much detail that often that you need to rewatch everything to be able to dive into Owari if you've seen it twice already.
Yeah. Oh, I also I did a bit of a rewatch for World End, another 2017 seasonal, because I remember really liking that when it aired, and I don't remember why I've decided to rewatch it again. Maybe because I felt nostalgic for it. I'm like, oh yeah, I don't think about this a lot, but I say I like it a lot, even though I don't remember a whole lot about it. And then I rewatched the first half of it, and I really it's definitely not as good as I thought it was back then. And I agree with Sinris's take on it, which is that the show does a lot of good. It does a lot of things wrong, but it still does have the best parts of it are good. I think that's something they said about it. It's been a while. It's not really that important, but yeah.
It's been a while.
I'm not really sure.
Thinking about rewatching.
Oh yeah, go ahead. I was done.
Oh, go ahead. I've been thinking about rewatching Steins Gate because I feel like it's that one show.
I was just thinking about that. I'm like, oh, maybe I'll rewatch Steins Gate. It's been a while since I've done that.
I haven't watched Steins Gate in, I think, like 8 years.
Oh, man.
And it's the show that sort of started near the top of my list at like a 9. And every time I redo my scores, I somehow feel the urge to bump Steins Gate down a bit because I don't want to have too many shows at like really high scores.
Yeah.
And it's always the one that sort of ends up lagging behind just because I don't remember that much about I guess I don't even remember that much about how things played out and why that was so good that I initially gave it such a high score. But I feel like if I were to rewatch it, I would likely bump it up again, but I might also just find myself finding new stuff to dislike. So I'm apprehensive, but
that's not a bad idea. It's been a long time since I watched that.
But I just keep rewatching the same stuff every time I feel like watching something and not watching something new. I just keep going back to Tatami Galaxy and Inamori Sketch.
I should rewatch Overlord. Again, for the 5th time. Season 5 when? Like, apparently a movie came out half a year ago, but I don't think it's out in English yet.
That's another series that has just escaped me. At some point, it just got so many seasons, and I'm like, all right, I guess I'll just continue
only 4.
forever. There's only 4 seasons, all right.
That's less than Monogatari.
That's true. Hasn't been going on as long as Monogatari.
Most recent season of Monogatari was really good. Or all the Nadeko arc was really good. So if there's any reason to get back in there and
yeah, I should finish that as well.
Get through Owari and everything after it. The new season is definitely a highlight.
I definitely
it's
should.
One of the best arcs in the series.
I'm really glad to hear that, actually, because I feel like, I don't know, I guess I was just worried that because it had been so long since we had gotten any kind of Monogatari anime, and I feel like I had kind of assumed that the series was over, that like final season was supposed to be the end, and then Nisio just kept making more for the sake of it.
Because he made the end, and he made the end part 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess I just had like lower expectations of Monogatari's comeback, and I'm glad that it's actually as good as the other seasons.
Yeah, I get that. I was apprehensive as well when I saw it announced. But yeah, I mean, Nadeko out of the main girls was probably my least favorite, and just based on the most recent new arc alone, she shot up in the rankings to like potential top 5 territory, which is huge.
Yeah.
So it's great. Yeah,
She did win best character, so that's nice.
she did. Yeah.
She did. Anything can happen. Who the fuck is this? Deathtopia Virtuoso Suicide Master. Hang on. This is I didn't know this. I didn't know this. That Monogatari had good characters. That is the best name of all time. I love Nisio Easy, dude.
I think that's like Shinobu Senpai, basically.
That would make sense.
What the fuck? I saw that there's a Gundam coming out next season called like Kido Senshi Gundam GQUUUUUUUX.
Yeah, apparently that's really good. That had a movie.
And then I looked up the previous, because it's like a season 2 or whatever. I looked up the first season and it's from 1979.
Yeah.
So finally, imagine waiting 40 years, 45 years for another season.
Well, wait,
2.
I don't think this is like that's just the original season of Gundam, and I think every other Gundam has been a spin-off
It's called
of that.
Kido Senshi Gundam.
Yeah, Mobile Suit Gundam. That's what it is.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yes. That's just the
I
OG
thought it was
Gundam.
just always called Mobile Suit Gundam.
Yeah. So this is just another... So, I mean, this is going to be like a standalone,
okay.
just like Witches from Mercury was.
I always wanted to get into Gundam, but there's so much of it. And it's the most actually fan base of all time. Because the details are so specific.
Ooh, the main girl's voiced by Tomoyo Kurosawa? Yeah, this is going to be peak. Oh yeah, and Suise is doing the ED for this. It's the...
I'm gonna watch this.
I love this. This is a show that I would have made. Main characters voiced by Tomoyo Kurosawa. A VTuber that I like is doing the ED. The character designs are by Take, who's the guy that who does Pokemon. Well, not all the Pokemon designs nowadays, but you know, you can tell essentially what their style is.
The character
Like your Avengers, just putting people together.
Yeah,
the main character
exactly.
looks very out of modern day Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like her head is just a cherry. Completely round.
Yeah, very saturated, very round. Very colorful. I like it. But yeah, that's what. Anything else we've been up to for the last couple of months?
I've
Nah.
not in terms of anime, but I've started going to the gym because I got rejected twice in 1 week, and then my self-esteem
Oh,
self-esteem was through the floor, and now I'm stereotypically going to the gym for the first time in my life.
lifting, crying.
If you get rejected another 97 times, you go to a shrine and pray, and then a god will tell you, "All right, you can have every woman that you ever want, except if except if you break up with them,
100.
they will die."
Yep.
I can get every woman who I make eye contact with, including adult women and the mothers of my previous girlfriends. I don't know if that's a deal I'm willing to take, but I guess after 97 rejections, what can you do?
Sounds eventful.
Keeps you busy.
It
You'll
does.
always have something to do. You'll never be
Just don't do
alone
too much or
ever
you'll
again.
die. Like Makoto, if you do too much, you get killed.
Yeah.
Damn, like having watched School Days, it unlocks so many references. Everybody has watched this shit show. Like, damn, that's just like in School Days.
That's I need to watch Death Note for that exact reason. I'll be like, oh, look
That
at all these 2000s things that I grew up with.
There's
wow.
so many memes. It's all the memes.
Oh my god, he really took a potato chip and eated it.
And ate it.
Oh my god.
Can't believe it.
It's also just a good show.
I remember so little of that Death Note. I couldn't tell you anything that happens in the
I
show
thought the ending
beyond
was
the first
frustrating.
5 episodes.
Like the last 5 episodes are so frustrating, but the first, a lot of it is very good. Plus the OP by Maximum the Hormone is it's such a banger.
The best. It's the greatest.
It's so good.
That's the second one, right?
Yes, I haven't heard it. Like it's gotta be on my top whatever from last year on Spotify.
Free porn. Yeah.
Is that what it's about?
No. That's just a commonly misheard lyric that people replace it with.
And that's like one of those misheard lyrics videos on it. I think it also starts with very deep in the bum.
It's they sing like Dana Ningen whatever something, and
Ningen
it just sounds
fucker.
like this. Like,
And it sounds like a slur, yeah.
But it sounds like a slur every single time. It's like every time I have to do a double check, I'm like, wait, what? Oh, fucker. The other F word.
What?
So, yeah,
that's a great way to end the episode. Good discussion, everybody.
Everybody watch Death Note and School Days. Get on those early 2000s memes.
Yeah. 2007, early 2000s.
Yeah, I just thought of that. Like, that's late 2000s. I was thinking early 2010s. I don't know. I got it mixed up.
Yeah.
I got it twisted. Watch those. Get on the boomer memes.
Watch that. Watch Momentary Lily. Great anime.
At your own risk.
No, there's no risks to it. You will change your life for the better.
Get a hold of some like seasickness pills or whatever.
Motion sickness.
Tie yourself to the chair before watching, or you will fall over.
And yeah, and we'll do. So there's going to be some more content coming out soon. There's an episode I've been working on for a billion years, and I just keep procrastinating. Well, not even necessarily procrastinating. It's just I get busy with other stuff. Like I'm ending the episode now because I gotta watch the baseball game and then write about it because that's another job that I have.
Yeah, nice.
But yeah. Oh, also I'm going to Anime Central. I may as well as announce that now. So if anyone's going to Anime Central,
a bunch of you are going to Anime Central, right? Other members.
Yeah, in the awards server because that's basically why.
I thought of like our own.
Our community, Bacon's going for a day.
Bacon is going,
but just for a day.
I thought Beck said it was going too.
He said he might. I don't know. He's probably not though.
Probably not. So everybody go harass Moss.
Yeah,
he'll be there.
That I will be there in person. You now know where my physical location will be on very specific dates. So please use that information how you will.
Look for the long-haired anime fan in a witch hat.
Exactly.
There can't be many. Surely there won't be hundreds.
I'll wear the most embarrassing anime shirts that I have. I'll bring my Yuno shirt. I'll bring my Deadbeat shirt. I'll bring my Princess Principal shirt.
Gotta be this Shirogane Noel. Not Noel. What's the other one? The one who graduated. Chloe?
What?
Oh yeah, my Chloe shirt.
Back on Vtubers.
Yeah.
Which one? The one that graduated. Yeah, that narrows it down.
That's like 5 in the last couple.
In the last week.
I feel like there's been 3 since we did the impressions, right? It's like Fauna, Chloe.
Fauna and Chloe actually graduated, but Mume announced it.
Mume just announced it.
Mume announced it, and also Shion in the JP branch.
Oh, that's right, Shion. That's why I was thinking Shirogane. There was a 4th one.
Shirogane. When are we getting Kaguya season 4? When's that happening? I still need to see the movie of that.
They gotta make.
I don't think I watched that.
They gotta make Oshinoko season 1 through 500.
God, I haven't seen this. I think I also watched Oshinoko somewhat recently, and I did not enjoy
Yoasobi will never be out of a job as long as Akasaka Aka keeps making.
As long as VTubers keep fucking covering that shitty ass song. It happened again. Mume fucking covered it last night. I'm glad she's graduating now.
Damn, I hate Mume. She should graduate. She should be fired.
Everyone who covers Idol should graduate immediately.
Go fuck yourself. Go shit yourself.
I feel like graduate is starting to become a synonym for like killing yourself.
Keep yourself safe.
Kill yourself is overdone. I hope your favorite VTuber graduates. That's impactful. That's hitting them where it hurts.
I hope your favorite VTuber puts out a
Hitting this.
video saying announcement. Important announcement. And then you get to just worry about it for days. And then they graduate.
Mm-hmm.
They're furthering their education.
Yeah. All right, let's graduate from this episode, and we'll catch y'all later. Thanks everybody for listening, and let us know what you think about this. I guess free format we're doing with the retrospectives. Maybe in another season we'll do something more structured, but if nothing else, for now we just wanted to do like I guess a proof of concept kind of thing. Like, hey, we can do this again.
Proof of concept. We know how to do this.
Yeah.
We've podcasted once or twice before.
Yeah, please invest in us.
You wouldn't know it, but we have done this before.
Please buy stock in Tokyo Podfathers podcast.
Listen to our financial podcast, Tokyo Stock Fathers.
Yeah.
It's also our soup podcast, Tokyo Stock Fathers.
Soup review.
We're always at soup.
You mean you're at soup?
I mean, I'm at soup.
I'm at soup.
All right. Talk to you later, gamers.
Yeah,
Bye.
that's a pretty clean 2 hours.